Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What was the last topic sir has discussed? Can anyone tell me the overview?
Size
Last
numbers.
topic.
Number specification.
Number specifications. Can anyone give me the overview? Yeah, tell me, what are the number specifications that you have seen?
Sized and unsized. Up to
Okay.
sized only, sir. Unsized not discussed.
And what about these tokens? Have you gone through this? Basic
Yes.
concepts of Verilog and lexical
Yes, sir.
conventions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we need to cover from number specifications, I think. Yeah, what is sized and what is unsized? See, this is the format. Size followed by base format and a number. How many base formats you know?
4.
Yeah, tell me what are they?
Decimal.
Okay.
Hexadecimal.
Mm.
Hexadecimal. Octal.
Fourth one
Binary.
is
Binary.
binary. So what is the base for decimal?
10.
10. Hexa?
6. 16.
16. Okay, octal.
8.
8.
2.
Base?
2.
Base is 2.
2.
Okay, so let us discuss by taking one example. So here, if you observe 4 tick B1111. What is this? Here, what is this 4 and what is B and what is 1111?
That represent 4 digits and it is a binary.
Yeah, this is a binary number. So here this 4 indicates a size. So here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what is the equivalent of 1111 in decimal?
16.
16 or 15?
15.
It is 15. Suppose if I want to represent the same number in decimal format, you tell me, by using this format, you tell me how should I represent? I want to represent 15 directly. In terms of decimal, I want to represent now.
2
dash.
D15.
2 tick D 15.
15.
Correct. So simple, this 2 indicates the number of digits which are present here. So as 15 here, this is first and second, 2 digits are there. So that's why I've written here as 2 and D stands for decimal. Now you give me an example of hexadecimal in terms of hexadecimal. Hexadecimal format. Or else you can use the example which I have mentioned it here. What is this? 12 tick HABC. Are you able to see the screen or should I zoom it? Yes, what is this? 12 tick HABC. What is the meaning of it?
12-bit decimal hexadecimal number.
Hexadecimal.
It is 12-bit hexadecimal number. How will you represent this ABC in terms of binary? Tell me the equivalent. Equivalent of ABC. Just do hexadecimal to binary conversion.
1 0 1 1 0 0
1010.
1100 for A.
1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0
1010. Okay.
1 0 1 1
1011. Next.
1100 for C, sir.
1100. So this is 10, 11 and 12. Okay. So now if I write like this, is it correct or wrong? What is the difference between these two?
Size is not matching.
Which one is correct among these two? A or
First.
B?
A.
First one is correct. Why this one is wrong?
Unsized. Base format is different.
Base format is different. So here instead of H, what should I take?
B.
B. So this will be correct now. Okay. So 12 is nothing but size. B is nothing but the format. This indicates the format. Next, you take this one now. 16 tick D 255. 16 tick D 255. So D stands for
Decimal.
decimal 255. How should I represent this one in terms of binary now? What is the equivalent for 255? How to convert decimal to binary? Continuous
Divide
division
by
or
2.
positional weights?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. So continuously you divide it by 2 so that you'll get the binary equivalent. In this format you have to write top to bottom. So this will be 16 tick binary and write the equivalent for that. Okay, this is about sized numbers. Suppose if I won't mention the size, what will happen now? Suppose if I write dash tick B1111. Suppose if I take it like this, now is it sized or unsized? I'm not indicating anything here.
Sized.
This is
Unsized.
unsized. Suppose if it is unsized, what is the default value that it gets allocated? It is 32-bit. If you won't mention, by default it will take it as 32-bit size. See, observe here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what else is missing in this format? First is size is missing. Next one is
base format.
Base format is missing. Now you tell me what will happen in this case. Suppose I told you that if size is not mentioned, what is the default size it will take?
32
32-bit.
Oh,
Suppose if
32
format is not mentioned, then
decimal.
by default it will take it as decimal. Correct. Remember these points. Generally in quiz you will get this kind of questions, and in any if you go for any VLSI based jobs, these are the basic questions that you can expect. Same thing. Take HC3. Take HC3. Now in this, which one is missing? Size is not there. Format is there, and this is the representation. Suppose if you want to represent this hexa in terms of binary, then
Dash B.
Dash. Okay, tick B. So for better understanding, I'm mentioning it as dash. You should not mention it like this. Okay. Next.
1100.
1100.
0110.
0
0011.
0011. 0011 is 3. This is 12. Okay. In this manner, different examples you can solve. This is about sized and unsized, but generally we'll make use of the signed concepts only. No need to worry about this one, but for better understanding, you make a note of this. Next, coming to X and Z. So till now, I think you know about this logic 0 and logic 1. Can anyone elaborate? What is logic 0 and what is logic 1?
On off.
This
Logic
is
1
in terms
means
of analog or
On off.
digital.
digital. Oh.
Okay. Same.
Digital.
Suppose if I want to represent this one in terms of analog, then
On off.
starting class. What is logic 0?
Off.
Off.
In terms of voltage, I want
Plus 5 volts.
0 volts.
0 volts.
0
plus
volt.
5 volts.
This is
5
5.
volts.
Correct. So till now you know only about this 0 and 1 concept. So now in this Verilog you will learn two more concepts called as X and Z. In Boolean algebra you have made use of this X. What does X represent in Boolean algebra while doing K-map? In K-map, while doing grouping, you will write like this, right? 1, 1, this is X suppose. What does this
Don't
X
care.
represent?
Don't care.
Don't
Don't
care.
So represent don't care. Here it is called as unknown value. Okay, unknown value means what does don't care represent? It can be either 0 or 1. So here X is nothing but unknown value. Next, coming to Z. Z is called as high impedance. Already I've discussed about impedance and resistance. Can anyone tell me? In the first class, I've told you that is difference. What is impedance and what is resistance?
Resistance means it slows the current. It stops the
RZ.
flow of the current.
Okay, then what about Z impedance?
Inductors, capacitors.
It's for AC.
Correct. This is for AC. This is for DC. Remember this point. At the same time, high impedance is also called as floating point. It is also called as floating point. Floating means, suppose if I take one CMOS inverter as an example. CMOS inverter. What is inverter?
Not gate.
Inverter is nothing but a NOT gate. So the same thing, but I'm representing using NMOS and PMOS. So CMOS is nothing but a combination of NMOS and PMOS. So the same, the NOT gate. This is nothing but a NOT gate. I'm implementing this by using NMOS and PMOS. I hope you have gone through these symbols. Identifying this, which one is PMOS and which one is NMOS.
Above one is PMOS, below one is NMOS.
This is PMOS, this is NMOS. This is nothing but ground. This is nothing but VDD. Here I'm giving input. Here I'm taking V out. And what are the three terminals that are present in NMOS and PMOS? What are the three terminals? Which one is gate? This is gate.
Gate, source, drain.
Yeah, which one is source for PMOS? Near VDD or near V out?
VDD.
VDD.
It is source. Okay. And what about the arrow direction?
Towards gate.
Towards gate. Okay. I've told you something, some concept like this. So better you write like this. P and P. Whereas this is NMOS, right? So it is N, P and N. So always the direction of flow of current will be from N to P or P to N. Direction of flow of current. In the first class, I've discussed all this. P and diode. Direction of flow of current will be from P to N. So that's why arrow will be from P to N. Here also same, P to N. So here this will be source, this is gate, this is drain. Here this is source, gate, and this is drain. Remember one point. For PMOS, always source will be connected to supply. Whereas in case of NMOS, always source will be connected to ground. Make a note of this point, which is very useful. Okay, in NMOS, always source will be connected to ground. Whereas in case of PMOS, it is always connected to supply, which is VDD. Okay, now you tell me the on and off conditions. Suppose if V input is equal to 1, which one will be on and which one will be off? On and off conditions. So when V input is 1, NMOS will be on and this will be off. Off means open circuit or short circuit?
Open circuit.
Off means open circuit. On means
Short circuit.
circuit. Then tell me the output now. What will be the output here? 1 or 0? For NOT gate, when input is 1, what will be the output?
0.
0. Here
0.
also you'll get the output as 0 only. If you want, you can check it. So I'm telling that PMOS is off. Off means simply it will be like this. Done. Next coming to NMOS. NMOS is on. On means short circuit. Here it is connected to ground. And here I'm taking V out. And gate is connected something like this. You observe this and tell me. This is 5 volt, which is nothing but logic 1. Okay. So as it is open circuit, this 5 volt will not be connected to V out. So default you can observe here. This is connected to ground. Ground is nothing but 0 volt. So that's why I'm getting output as 0. The same thing you can apply for input as 0. Can anyone tell me what will happen now? If input is 0, which one will be on?
VDD will be on.
PMOS will be on.
NMOS will be off.
NMOS will be off.
Off.
Simple concept. For NMOS, bubble will be present. So that's why when input is 0, this will be on. Remember like this, so that it will be very easy for you to understand. Okay, suppose if it is 1, it will be off. Now I'm telling some different criteria. Suppose if both are off, what will happen? Is that possible?
No.
I'm telling that value is 0 and 1. Suppose if I take value as 0.5, there may be a chance that both the NMOS and PMOS will be on. So when both the NMOS and PMOS are either on or off, it is called as high impedance state. High impedance is nothing but floating. So what is meant by floating? When both NMOS and PMOS are on. Rarely it will happen. Remember this point. What does Z mean? Z means high impedance, which is also called as floating point. Floating means both the NMOS and PMOS are either on or off. Here I'm taking only the example of CMOS inverter. In the same manner, we can do with the CMOS NAND gate and CMOS NOR gate also, which we shall see in the later chapters. Okay. Now can anyone tell me the overview? What is 0, what is 1, what is X and what is Z? Quickly. Give me the overview. What is 0, 1, X and Z? Yes. 0 means logic low or high?
Low.
Correct.
Low.
Next, logic 1 means?
High.
High. High.
What about X and what about Z?
Unknown value.
X means unknown value.
Okay.
High impedance.
Z means high impedance.
High impedance. High impedance is also called as
Floating point.
floating point.
Floating.
When will you see this concept of floating?
NMOS inverter. CMOS inverter.
When both the NMOS and PMOS are on. Okay. When both the transistors are either on or off, it is simply called as floating. So we have covered this point. Done. Next, you see this example now. 12 tick H13X. What does this mean? Is size matching? If I want to represent this hexa in terms of binary, what will you do?
4-bit binary.
So equivalent for 1, it is 0001.
001.
What about 3?
0011.
0011. Then what about X? Do you know the value of X?
No.
No.
So simply it is extended like this. So you need to remember this concept. If it is 0, X or Z, simply pad it with the same concept. So in the 1's complement and 2's complement, you might have seen this concept. If most significant bit is 0, pad it with 0. If most significant bit is X, padding means simply adding. Okay. If it is Z, simply pad it with that last bit, which is nothing but MSB, most significant bit. Suppose if it is 1, if the most significant bit is 1, it should be padded with zeros. This is a different concept. Whereas these three are same, 0, X and Z. If depending upon the most significant bit, you have to pad it. Whereas if the most significant bit is 1, you need to pad it with zeros. Okay, now you tell me the extension for this. It is 12 tick H or B. What should I take?
B.
V.
Done. Next example is 66 tick HX. What about this one now?
6 tick B X X X X.
Okay, simply this X indicates how many digits? 6.
4.
6 or 4? Here
6.
you check this one. Whereas here why I have taken as 4? Why? Because here size I have mentioned as 12. So here 4 plus 4 is 8. Remaining is 4. See, 4, 8, 12. Whereas here The size I've mentioned as 6. So simply extend this one 6 times. Negative numbers and positive numbers. In COA, how you have represented this positive numbers and negative numbers? I think you have seen this signed magnitude concept.
1's complement.
In signed magnitude concept, positive numbers are represented with 0 or 1. 0. Negative numbers are represented with 1. This is the format you have learned there. But see here how we have to represent. It is minus 6 tick D3. You should not write it here. It is a wrong syntax. Okay. You need to mention it near the size. So minus 6 tick D3 is the format. Then what about this one? Minus 6 tick as D3. What is this as?
Signed.
Yes, it is signed. What is the difference between signed and unsigned?
Signed means positive, unsigned means negative.
Unsigned means negative or positive? Unsigned.
Unsigned means positive.
Signed means it can be either negative or positive. No issue with that. Suppose if you want to mention this one, this as default, it will take as unsigned, which is nothing but positive. See, this is a wrong way of representation. 4 tick D minus 2. You should not represent it like this. Okay, these are just a way of representation, syntax. Next. Underscore, characters and question mark. So simply these underscores are used for better readability purpose. We'll make use of this. For better readability, we will use this. What about comments? How many types of comments you have seen? Comments. Single line.
Multiple line.
Single line and multiple line. Single line means it is represented like this. Whereas multi-line means?
Only 1 slash.
Wrong. Multi-line. Let me show you. See this? Is it single line comment or multi-line comment?
Single line.
Then what about multi-line? What about multi-line comment?
Inverted commas, star, slash.
It is represented as slash star and star slash, sir.
Yes, correct. So that is called as multi-line comment. So generally while doing lab sessions, I'll tell you about this tool which is called as Xilinx. Just in order to show you the comments, I'm opening this one. See here. Suppose some random code I've written for ripple carry adder. See, if I add 2 forward slashes, it became green. Means simply it became as a comment. Now, what about multi-line? Star or slash star?
Slash star.
Star.
Slash star.
Next, see here at the end
Star
I'll put
slash.
star slash. See this entire code has become as a comment. You can observe it has completely turned into green. This is called as multi-line. Whereas single line means only 2 slashes will be there. Okay. Here same story with underscore also, just for the sake of readability we will use this. And if you observe here, it is 4 tick binary 1 0 question mark and question mark. Suppose if it is question mark, by default it will get replaced with Z. What is Z?
High impedance.
It is called as high impedance, also called as
Floating point.
Floating.
remember this. Next, coming to strings. How many types of strings are there and how will you identify whether it is a string or not? Will there be any types in strings? String is nothing but in C language. I think you have learned this. String is nothing but group of
Characters.
characters. How will you identify? within single quote or double quote?
Single quote.
Single quote.
Single quote means it will be considered as an character. See here, double quotes means string. Small differences here. This will be treated as an character if it is enclosed in single quote. Whereas if you take double quote, it will be considered as a string. See here, I've taken some example called as hello Verilog world. This language is almost equivalent to C language. So those are perfect with C language. Easily you can learn this, but you need to have some concepts about this digital electronics so that easily you can write the codes. Done with string. Next, what is an identifier? Identifier is nothing but a name which is given to an particular object. We are giving some particular name for it. So generally, what is the use of variable? What will it do? Variable. Variable means it is used to store the
Value.
value.
Numbers.
Anything you can store. So here, if you observe register value, this is input clock. What is the difference between these two? Reg value. Always it should be ended with semicolon. Next, coming to input clock. Here value is nothing but an identifier. Clock is nothing but an identifier. Whereas these are called as keywords. Similar to the tokens which are present in C language, here there are some keywords. Okay, register. What is meant by register?
Stores data.
It stores data. I think you have seen some concept like this. Register is nothing but group of
Flops.
group of flip-flops. So if I take 4 flip-flops, it is called as 4-bit register. But the difference that you have learned in COA and here is, suppose if I take serial in, serial out shift register, there clock signal is needed for the information to get shifted either left or right. Yes or no? But here it is not needed. So register is something which is used to store a value, and input is nothing but a keyword. Like this, keywords will be there like input, output, in, out. I'll tell you all these concepts. Okay. If you see this example, it will be clear for you. See here, I've assigned, I've taken A, B, and C are some 3 variables, and I'm given the keyword as input. So here this A, B, C are nothing but inputs, whereas sum and carry are the outputs. If we see the full adder contains how many inputs?
3 inputs.
3.
A, B, C, and
Three.
outputs are
Sum and carry.
2.
sum and
Sum and
carry,
carry.
which is nothing but 2. So they should be declared like this. A, B, C are inputs, right? So that's why it should be mentioned like this. So input A, input B, input C. Here this is some different concept I'll tell you. We call this one as vector. So directly you can take it like this. Input A. This is input B, input C. And 2 outputs, right? So directly you can take it like this. Outputs are sum and output are carry. Okay. These inputs are called as keywords or identifiers.
Keyword.
They're called as keywords.
Identifiers.
These are called as keywords, whereas the name which we are giving is called as an identifier. Identifier is something we are assigning some random name. Anything you can give it. See like this. Register. I'll take my name. Okay. Here Sanand is called as an identifier. Register is nothing but an keyword. Anything you can take. And if you observe here, this $sign indicates some system tasks and functions. System task and functions. In detail, we shall see about this. But here, just you be perfect with the terminology and what are the symbols that we are going to use. Okay, coming to next, escaped identifiers. What are white spaces that you have seen? White spaces. What is this, forward slash n or backward slash n? Which one should I take? What is the difference?
Backward slash and new line.
Backward slash.
New line. T stands for
Tab space.
tab. Okay. B stands for
Backspace.
blank space. It is called as blank space. So escaped identifier is nothing but it starts with this backward slash. Okay. Next, what about this ASCII? What is ASCII code? Full form.
American
Standard code for
Okay, American
Indian International.
American Standard Code for Information Interchange. What is the difference between small a and capital A in terms of ASCII?
Small a 97, capital A 65.
65. If it goes to capital B means 66 and it keeps on continuing. Just remember only these first two values so that easily you can decode. So ASCII means American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and escaped identifiers are something which starts with backward slash. Okay. Any doubts with this conventions? So we have seen escaped identifiers and what is meant by an identifier and keyword string. Next, coming to number specification. This is very important. You can get this one for 2 marks also, and while writing code also you'll be able to see this sized and unsized. Next, I think you have seen about these operators. How many types of operators are there?
3 types:
Okay, what are they?
unary, binary, ternary.
Okay, what is meant by operand and operator? Operand and operator.
Operand is like add, subtraction. Tasks.
Operand, operator.
Operand is a symbol which is used to.
Okay, operator is symbol. Okay, next, what is opcode? Opcode specifies the type of operation to be performed. Means, can I call this one as an operator? Both opcode and operator, are they same or different? C is equal to A plus B. Tell me the operand and operator in this and tell me whether it is unary, binary or ternary.
Binary.
This is binary. A and B are called?
Operands.
They are called as operands.
Operands.
And
Plus is
plus sign
operator.
indicates operator, which is also called as an opcode. Done. Next, if it is, suppose if I take like this, S question mark I1 colon I0. What is this called?
Ternary operator.
Ternary operator. Can you tell me the working of this?
It works as a control statement function. So in C,
2 by 1
generally we
multiplexer.
same way.
Can anyone tell me the working of this 2x1 mux? If S is equal to 0, what will be the output?
I0.
Okay. If it is 1,
I1.
the same story I've written within a single line. See here, S, suppose if it is true. In this, remember one concept blindly. If it is true means it is 1. If it is false, it is 0. Okay. Suppose if S is true. True means 1 or 0?
1.
1. If S is equal to 1, what is the output?
I1.
I1. So directly it will go here. Suppose if S is false, means directly it will show it here. Remember this concept. Okay. If S is true, I1 is the output. If S is false, which is 0, I0 is the output. Simply by writing a within a single line, I can execute this one. 2x1 mux. Clear about this or any doubts? Unary, binary and ternary. Okay, we have seen about comments and white spaces also discussed. Done. Next, we shall go to data types. What are the data types that you know in C language?
Integer, character, float, double float.
Correct. Here also there will be some data types which we call as register data types and net data type. Okay, register and net are the two data types, and this is important for short 2 marks. Definitely you'll see this question. Data types and Verilog. See value sets. Just now we have seen all these values 0, 1, x and z. 0, 1, x and z. X indicates an unknown logic value. Z indicates high impedance, which is nothing but floating point or floating state. And already we know about this logic 0 and logic 1. Next, coming to strengths. There are 8 strengths will be there. You can remember it like this. One is large, medium and small. Next, strong and weak. Coming to supply and high Z means high impedance state. So what is driver? If I take one AND gate, I'll take output as C, inputs are A and B. Yeah, can anyone identify which one is driver?
C is driver.
C is driver or A and B are driver?
A and B.
A and B. If I won't apply any inputs, I won't get any output, right? So what is fan in and what is fan
Yes.
out? Fan in, fan out. Already you might have heard about these terms, fan in and fan out. Fan in means how many inputs a particular gate can handle. Okay, next by using that particular output, how many number of gates it is driving is called as fan out. See, by using this single output, I am driving 3 NOT gates. So what is the value for fan out? Fan out is 3, whereas fan in is 4. Number of
4.
inputs indicates fan in, and by taking that particular output, how many different gates that I'm driving is called as fan out. Remember the term called as driving. By using this, you can remember fan in and fan out. Fan in means the number of inputs that it can handle. Fan out means by using one particular output, how many different gates it is driving. Next. Suppose if I take A and B are the two inputs, so depending upon the strengths, the output will be decided. See here, if A and B are of unequal strength means suppose if one is strong, another one is weak. What will be the output? Suppose I'm assigning strong to A and weak to B. Then
Strong will be output.
strong will be the output. Next, if both are of same strength, then can you tell me who is the winner? If both are of same strength, it is unknown. When equal strengths I am applying at the input, the output is unknown, means it is X. It can be any value, either 0 or 1. Simply X is nothing but a don't care, which can take either value as 0 or 1. So just you go through these values, no need to remember. In random cases, you will get this kind of questions. So just you need to know like how many strength levels are there means 8, and how many value sets are there means there are 4. Just remember this. Next, coming to net. What is net? Same or different?
Connection.
Same,
Net
sir.
is nothing but simply a connection between two different modules. Correct. Net can also be called as wire or bus. See here, net represents connection between hardware elements. Just as in real circuits, net have values continuously driven on them by the output of the device. Means, will it handle any value? I mean, will it hold any value? Nets, can they store value? What is the difference between a net and a register?
Net is just a connection.
Net is just a connection. It won't store any value. Whereas register with
Register holds
Stores
the
the
values.
values.
it will store the values. Just remember this. See the example of an AND gate. I'm given some name as G1. Here A, B and C are the inputs. A is nothing but an output. So you need to declare it like this. Wire A, wire B comma C. Whereas what about this one? Third one, wire D is equal to 1 tick B0. Means by default D value will be 0. If there is any term like this, you need to declare it like this. But for this, only the first 2 lines are enough. Wire A, next wire B comma C, or else input B, input C, and output is A. Like this also you can declare. Okay. What is this input? Keyword or identifier? Input is called as?
Keywords.
Input is called
Keyword.
as keyword. So you need to remember these default values. The default value of net is Z. Suppose if I won't apply any input. So if two inputs are there, the combinations are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Suppose if I won't apply these inputs, suppose if it is left empty, then by default the value will be Z. So this value will be Z and this value will be Z, which is nothing but floating point for wires. So simply net is nothing but a data type, and in this some categories are there, which is called as wire, wire and, wire or, try, try and, try or, try register, supply 0, supply 1, try 0, try 1. So these are nothing but some of the classes under net. So we will use the term net and wire interchangeably. No need to confuse with that. Data type means net, and all these are subcategories which comes under the net. Just remember these names: wire, wire and, wire or, try. What is this try? In the starting class only I've told you. What is this?
State buffer.
Yeah, simply it is tri-state buffer. While writing theory, you can elaborate all these concepts. Okay, this is called as simply tri-state logic. This is called as buff if 1. This is called as buff if 0. What about this one? This is not if 1, not if 0. So within this try, you can elaborate all these concepts, buffers as well as NOT gates. Whereas supply 0 means 0 volt, supply 1 means 5 volt. We will use the terms of supply 0 and supply 1 while dealing with NMOS and PMOS concepts. NMOS and PMOS concepts. Okay, which comes under switch level modeling. How many types of modelings are there? Structural,
Gate level.
Behavioral.
Flow,
Data
behavioral
flow. Behavioral. Next one is
Data flow.
data flow,
okay.
Gate level.
Gate level.
gate
Okay.
level.
Structural.
Gate level or structural level, both are same. Last one is switch level. Under switch, NMOS and PMOS. So within this concept, you will use these two terms of supply 0 and supply 1. Why? Because for that particular NMOS and PMOS only, we will use VDD as well as ground. Okay, so net is nothing but a data type, and these are nothing but the classes which comes under it. Next, I think already you know about the register. It is used to hold a value, right? So register represents a data storage element. It will retain value until another value is placed on them. See, C is equal to A plus B. If I give value of A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0, what is the value of C? 1 plus 0, which is nothing but 1. It will hold this value of C is equal to 1 until we apply
these change.
When
next
another
input.
value is given.
Yeah, just simply remember. Next. This point I've told you already. Do not confuse the term registers in Verilog with the hardware register that you have seen while building edge-triggered flip-flops. In registers, we have seen like this, right? Single in, single out. Serial in, parallel out. Parallel in, parallel out. Parallel in, serial out. Here, every time we have to apply the clock signal so that the information will shift either left or right. Whereas here, that particular clock signal is not needed. Okay, simply if we change the input, that value will get assigned to that output variable, which is nothing but a register. So Verilog register do not need a clock on hardware registers do. Values of registers can be changed anytime in a simulation by assigning a new value to the register. Like this, by changing the inputs, directly values gets assigned. Suppose if I won't assign any value, by default it will take as X. What is the default value that a net will hold? Remember this.
Z.
Default value, it is Z. And what is the default value in terms of register?
X.
It is X, which is nothing but an unknown value. Next, these are some of the examples of a register. Register means is the keyword or identifier. Which one is the identifier and keyword? Please identify.
Register is a
Register is identifier.
Register.
Keyword.
Register is a keyword. Sir.
Register is a keyword. Reset is
reset identifier.
Identifier. What is meant by an identifier?
Variable.
Identifier means some name we are giving for a particular object. Okay. And we shall see in detail about this one: initial, begin, and end. If there is a begin statement, it should have end statement by default. And here reset is equal to 1 tick b1. What is the meaning of this? Reset is equal to 1. If reset is equal to 1, what will be the output? If you are resetting something, what will be the output?
0.
Output will be 0. So here hash 100. What is this hash 100? In C language, what are preprocessor directives? I think you all have read C language. What are preprocessor directives? You'll write some statement like this: hash include stdio.h. What is this?
Including library function.
Including library function. What is this hash? This is a header file, okay? Hash is nothing but a preprocessor directive. Here in Verilog, we'll use this hash to indicate delay. Okay, hash is used to indicate delay. So here hash 100 means we need to wait for 100 time units, which is nothing but nanoseconds. Here generally the units of time will be in the form of nanoseconds, or else you can call it as 100 time units also. So reset will be 1. After 100 nanoseconds of time, this reset value will change to 0. If you observe this particular clock signal, see initially this reset will be 1. For how many time units means? For 100 time units. After that, it will change to 0. Okay, what is time period? Time period.
Time taken to produce output.
And this time period contains how many cycles?
Plus and minus.
One positive half cycle and one negative half cycle is called as a time period, which is nothing but 1 by f. Done. Next, vector. Just now in the example, I've edited this one. See here. What is this? This is 15 down to 0 a. This 15 down to 0 is called as a vector, meaning a will hold how much amount of information? 15 down to 0 means how many bits?
15 bits.
14, 13,
15.
12 to 0. 15 or 16?
16.
16. So here, if you observe, this A is of size 16 bits. Next, what about this one? What is the size of B?
16.
16.
Same. B is equal to 16 bit. Okay. So we call that one as vector. You take this example and tell me now. Wire 31 down to 0, bus A, comma bus B and C. What is this now?
Bus A, bus B, bus C are 32 bits.
Means bus A is of size 32 bit, B is of size 32 bit, C is of size 32 bit. So this is called as vector representation. Same story here also. Wire 7 down to 0, bus means this bus is of size. What is the size? 7 down to 0 means 7, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. Size is 8 bits. Next, suppose if I want to mention the size, if I write like this directly, wire bus, and if I write wire 31 down to 0 bus, what is the difference between these two statements?
Size is not declared in first statement.
Unknown
so by
value.
default, it's not unknown, it is scalar. Scalar means the default size will be 1 bit. If it is not mentioned means simply it will take it as scalar. Okay, and this is nothing but a vector. So what is the size here?
32.
So depending upon your requirement, you need to mention here the vector size. And always remember one point, this is called as most significant bit, this is called as least significant bit. Okay, 31 down to 0 means 31, 30, so on till 0. So this size is 32 bit. This is nothing but vector way of representation. Suppose if I am not mentioning any vector size, by default it will take it as scalar. So what is the default size for scalar?
1 bit.
It is
1.
1 bit. So this is one important concept. Regularly we will use this concept while writing the programs. So here also you can see this. Okay. Here I've used the vectored concept. Generally this is a syntax which we shall see. What is this module? What is this name? I'll tell you all in detail. So till now we have covered input declaration followed by vectors. We have seen all these comments and underscore so on. And can anyone tell me about an array? What is an array?
Group of
Group of
elements.
elements.
Group of elements or else collection of similar data types or dissimilar data types.
Similar elements.
Similar data types. And how many types of arrays you know? Means will there be any dimensions in that?
Multi-dimensional and single-dimensional array.
Right, correct. Suppose if I take an array of size 8, okay, and within that I want to select third bit. How should I do it? Means I will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I consider this one as an array, if I want to select this particular bit, how should I do? Have you heard about the term called as index? What is the index value for this? 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So suppose some random name a of 2 means which value will get selected?
3, sir.
3. If it is a of 7 means
8.
8. So I hope you know about this one, which I've seen in C language. So same story here also. Vector part select. We have seen the wire declaration by using vectored concept. So 7 down to 0 bus means it is an 8-bit bus. Now within that, if I'm selecting only 7th one, see bus A and 7. So whether it can be any value within that, the 7th part will be selected. Means here, if you take this example, 8 will be selected. This is called as vector part select. Means within that particular array, I'm selecting a particular digit or a particular bit. Okay, next bus 2 down to 0. So here 2 is most significant bit or least significant bit in 2 down to 0.
MSB.
It is called as most significant bit and this is called as least significant bit. And again, depending upon this, there are some concepts called as little endian concept and big endian concept. Let me show you that one. See here, register 255 down to 0 data 1. If you observe, this is called as little endian format. Means I'm coming from higher value and I'm ending at lower value. That's why it is called as little endian notation. Suppose if I start with small and if I end at big value, it is called as big endian format. Remember this. Generally, you'll expect this one for 2 marks. Explain about little endian notation and big endian notation means by taking this some random example you need to explain. Okay, little means starting from a large value and ending at a small value. If it is big means starting with small, ending at large. Okay, any doubts still here?
No, sir.
Okay, can anyone give me the overview now of what are the concepts that you have seen? So we have covered till here vector part select and this is vector, variable vector part select. So these are some of the notations which you need to remember, but generally we won't use this. Okay, for better understanding, you go through this. See starting bit plus width. Starting bit plus width, you take this one. Byte is equal to data 1 and this 31 minus 8. So here this 31 indicates starting bit and this 8 is nothing but a constant. So 31 minus 8 means 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25 and 24. So this is nothing but 31 down to 24. This is a way of selecting. Means within a big array we are selecting some part. So this is a format to select a particular amount of length. Starting bit plus width or else starting bit minus width. Only two concepts. Within a size of 32, if you want to select only particular size, this is a syntax which you need to follow. Okay, if you need only one particular bit means you can declare it like this. That particular bus followed by index number. This is called as vector part select and variable vector part select. Okay, generally in random cases we will use these concepts, but for better understanding you go through this. Okay, yeah, now you can ask some doubts if you are having anything. And there are the next concepts which we can see. Yes, any doubts? Have you gone through the textbook which I've sent you? Guys, anyone? What is the textbook that you are following?
Samir.
Samir Palitkar. Okay. At the same time, I've uploaded some more textbooks. I'll give you the link for this. So according to your suggested readings, I have numbered this one. So Samir Palitkar is nothing but first suggested book. And this is second, third, fourth. I'll share you this one also. Okay. Tell me if you're having any doubts so that I will help you. $52 are there. Yes, guys, any doubts till now? Have you received these slides or else should I send you